I'm Rose Cushing, host of Carolina Hoofbeats TV. We made a trip to Buchanan, Virginia today to check out New Freedom Farm, and with me is Lois Dawn. So Lois, tell us a little bit about the farm and how it came to be.
So New Freedom Farm was founded by myself because I struggled with my own personal tragedies and trauma through life, through my childhood, military experience, and my adult life. And I wanted to offer a safe place for veterans that were struggling. Veterans or any human that's healing, that needs extra healing. The other unique thing is that we're a sober facility. We host 3 days a week, 12-step support group meetings for veterans with PTSD and substance abuse issues. And the other really unique thing is 90% of our horses are Mustangs and the rest are all rescued horses.
So when you say that you use the Mustangs and the rescue horses, how do you implement them into your program?
So veterans can do groundwork with them and or ride those horses, and they seem to parallel because the Mustang and the rescued horses come with trauma, and our veterans, our American heroes, have a lot of trauma also.
So how many veterans do you have taking part in the horse part of it?
So in the horse part, we average about 20 veterans a week, I would say, depending on what the weather's like and what the holiday season is like. Veterans and most humans struggle right now during the holiday season, so our census is up, and same with horses. People are always wanting to place a horse because they've ran out of funding or it's the winter time.
Right. How many folks would you say take advantage of your programs in general that you support in the area?
So our veterans come as far as Vermont and as far south as South Carolina, and we've seen over 600 veterans.
That's awesome. And you've been open how long?
So I had the grand opening October 6th of 2016, and I got my 501c3 July 1st of 2016.
That's amazing. And what other programs do you offer here?
So we do everything from horseback riding to the 12-step programs for substance abuse. We own the creek across the street. We do meditation there. Coming in the spring, we're going to have a yoga program. We do anything that a veteran wants to do to just be. Last summer we had a garden, which helped, and our veterans age from age 24 all the way up to 96.
I know I've seen on Facebook a lot of times you have some of the older veterans here visiting, just hanging out.
Oh yeah, so I say that they hold court here.
Right.
And you know, one of the most important things that we have to remember that in our country, 22 veterans a day commit suicide, 1 active duty member, and 5 first responders. So we've seen a lot of local law enforcement come to the farm and first responders. So we're really grateful to have that. And if each day we save 1 person, that's just 1 more life that we save.
So your facility is open to anybody that needs your help?
Yes, and if we don't have the right combination, we always have a lot of resources that are available. And I say that we do all kinds of case management. We had a veteran living in a tent and we got him housing. We had another veteran that had a child that was really sick, and we offered gas support and meals and things. We're one big happy family to help veterans.
Very nice, very nice. Now, what is your experience and qualifications to give you this dream?
So I say that my experience, most importantly, is my own life experience. But the real experience, I would have to say, as far as trauma goes, I worked as a forensic nurse for 20 years. I have a master's in nursing, and one of the things that I did was crisis clinician work. So I think that background has really helped me. And my own personal experience of how a horse helped me heal and maintained my sobriety as a recovering alcoholic, I say that if I don't stay sober, then the horses aren't getting taken care of, and that's the most important thing. So my own personal experience helps me the most, I think. Sharing my experience, strength, and hope with others.
And you've had a lot of suicide crisis calls that you've responded to.
Sadly, we have had some, and we are grateful that a few of them have lived and continue to come to New Freedom Farm, and we've given them hope.
That's awesome. It's really awesome. And you've had a lot of support from Rolling Thunder?
Rolling Thunder and the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association, but Rolling Thunder is just simply amazing. We have, I spoke there at their national conference, and there was a referral from them made from New Hampshire that we just had veterans from Vermont and Massachusetts here because of the Rolling Thunder connection.
That's awesome.
Rural American lifestyle. It's how we work, and it's how we play. It's how we learn and how we enjoy the finer things in life. How we take care of our animals and tend to the land. It's a way of life. Has been for hundreds of years. Now there's a whole new way for rural America to watch TV.
With us now is Jason Hogenkamp. And Jason, tell me a little bit about your experience here at New Freedom Farm.
I came here at the end of September, because of the peer-to-peer support group for veterans. I initially was attracted to just not having any medication associated with treatment, and just allowing the horse to be the horse, and that the healing for the veterans. No matter what service you were in or what branch you were a part of. Horses are the great communicator and the great divider between what's right and what's wrong in our lives. So, and I knew that Lois, we had several joint ventures together with another barn that I was working with, and I just really admired what she did and how she approached the horses. And it was just very attractive to me that someone could be that honest and true and tell their story, and own it instead of it owning who you are. You know, our diagnoses do not identify us. That's not who we are. That's what we have.
Right.
And we can always be stronger, and we can always move on. And the way that she moves on, that I've learned, is that she learns and she moves through other people's stories, and she's able to share her story and bring other people back to an understanding of what's right and what's wrong, to get a balance in life, you know. And I think that's what this world is missing, is a balance, the genuineness, the honesty that you have. It's not trying to hide it away. You know, post-traumatic stress is what I was diagnosed with, and I know she was too, and that's another thing that we have in common, is that it's like layers of an onion, you know, and it's easy to get the first couple of layers off, but to be there, stand, tested, true in time, day in and day out, they're able to work with and to be with and share with each other, instead of trying to hide it or be something that you're not. You know, she's very genuine, and this New Freedom Farm is probably the most genuine barn I've ever been a part of. You know, it's there's nothing, you know, there's no agenda other than healing, and just being together as one, sharing with one another. Those times where it's difficult to be around other people. You know, veterans are like-minded, and people that are diagnosed with the same things we are and been in the combat area, we have a like mind, and we're able to get along without even knowing one another. You know, and just that familiarity and just the genuineness and her honesty, it just created a great place to learn and to heal and to be a part of Mustangs like he is, and the other horses we have out here that we can help veterans with. You know, we work with our VA stop. We work with our VA. They come out here in busloads to be a part
That's
of
amazing.
This.
That's really amazing.
It's really good.
Hi, I'm Jesse Chase of Jesse Chase Performance Horses in Wendell, North Carolina, and I'm proud to feed Mule City Feeds. Mule City was first recommended to me by a vet who felt that I would benefit from a custom mitt. Overall, I've been thrilled with the customer service at Mule City Feed, the quality of products that they use, and how my horses have looked and performed since making that change. So stop by today and check out Paul Dunn at Mule City Feeds.
People always say thanks for what you do here and things like that, and I say I don't do anything, really. I just follow the trail of scorched earth that Lois leaves behind her.
That's good.
If you want to know where she is, look for the smoke on the horizon, because she's tearing it up somewhere.
Right, right.
What do? What's my role? You know, in the quiet hours of the day when there's nobody else around, and she's not in the mode of helping somebody, that's when she can fall apart.
Right.
So there's either nobody here when that happens, or there's nobody plus me.
Right.
So my role is to be there for her when she doesn't want anybody around, when she doesn't want anybody to be there for her.
Sure. Sure, she carries a heavy load, no doubt.
Well, I always say she's client zero. You know, she wouldn't do what she does. The farm wouldn't be the farm, and she wouldn't do what she does if she didn't have. All of this stuff is so that other people don't have to feel the pain that she feels.
I know. She's amazing.
At the fundamental, at the starting point, that's what it is. It's how do you make it so that you don't want anybody to feel what you felt. We had gone to a Tractor Supply and met a young Marine vet who the only time he came out of his house was to go to work. And Lois said, well, why don't you come to our farm? And the horses helped me. And why don't you come to the farm and spend some time with us? So he did, and he brought his family, his young children, his wife. And one of the boys wanted to have a birthday party, but his dad couldn't go to the place where you take kids for birthday parties because he couldn't stand the crowds. And they had their birthday party here, and the little kids said, you know, this is great. My dad smiles, and he's not nervous. And when he comes to the farm, he doesn't yell at my mom. He doesn't yell at us. And so that was like veteran number one. All at the same time, Liberty's born, and people want to help her with the doctor bills. And somebody said, "What are you going to name her?" And somebody said, "Oh, well, you know, she's got her Liberty." And then somebody said, "Well, she found her Liberty at New Freedom Farm." And then a cousin of ours sent Lois like a tchotchke decorative light that had a sticker on it, which became our logo. It said New Freedom Farm, and so New Freedom Farm was born. Hey, Snickers. And so she decided she was going to make T-shirts for the farm, because like all the horse farms that we had our horses boarded at had T-shirts. And she said, "How many do you think I should make?" I said, "I don't know. Why don't you ask your friends on Facebook who would want a shirt?" And we talked to the people at the print place, and we got the logo from the lady who made the little thing on the decorative lamp, and we were going to use that. And somebody said to buy 24 shirts, and I think she decided she was going to get like 40 made, and 400 people said they wanted shirts.
Yeah.
So 3 years later, New Freedom Farm is reportedly the best customer at the T-shirt place.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And the shirts have been spotted in Alaska and on airplanes and in England and in Prague and Vienna and
That's amazing.
and Australia and parts far and wide and every Disney place. And so what happened was that the two themes of being a sanctuary for troubled horses and being a veterans advocacy safe place for people who are struggling with whatever their time in service threw at them. Both of those themes hit people in their heart. And consequently, through word of mouth and family and friends and social media and all the vectors that people get their information from, people want to be a part of.
Yeah.
And one of Lois's primary drivers was that she wanted to make there be no barrier to entry for anybody who sought help. If you were going to seek help and you were going to seek it with her, and follow her way of just being present with a horse, then there was going to be no obstacle other than you had to get yourself here.
Right.
And so she hosted a party, a little, like a grand opening. And like 400 people showed up from
Wow.
Maine to Florida to the West Coast.
That's amazing.
So
That's
the
really-
magic is that it's got its own life, its own thing.
Right.
It doesn't happen without Lois, but it happens on its own.
Yes.
Are you thinking about a career with horses?
I love this.
We love this.
I love this. I love this. I love this.
We know. You'll love it too.
Okay. So Lois, tell me a little bit about the building behind us and what are you thinking with it?
Sure. So the building was just an opened agricultural building for storage, and now because we have no heat and running water in the barn, we will be able to have a flushing toilet and heat and climate control air conditioning for veterans to come. So right now, when it's inclement weather, we're in the barn with nothing. So
Right.
And the barn has been dedicated in memory of Steve Goodwin. We dedicated it when he was alive, so he was aware of it. And Steve Goodwin was a Vietnam veteran, one of the first veterans that came to New Freedom Farm. Holds a very special place in my heart.
Awesome. And tell me about the Gold Star stuff.
So, and the Gold Star parents, Dave and Becky LaLouche, their child was killed in action in 2003, and they have volunteered all of their time and services as project managers and doing the construction themselves.
That is so awesome.
And they're members of Rolling Thunder, so
Wow.
it's a great family community together.
Awesome. Now, when you do a big dinner at Thanksgiving, how many people did you have this year?
So this year we had 155 people. Last year we had 60, and my first year I had 28.
Wow,
So
that's amazing, the growth.
Yeah.
So what are your visions for the future and for growing New Freedom?
So my vision is to continue to help more and more veterans and save more and more Mustangs now that we're pairing a veteran with a Mustang, to get more and more Mustangs homes and keep veterans safe and sober.
Awesome. That's really, really good work that you're doing for a
Thank you.
long time. All right, so I guess there you have it. If you get a chance and you're up in the Virginia area, come by the farm and see. You know, whether you need help or whether you just want to volunteer your time, stuff's always appreciated. And for those of you who aren't going to make it to Buchanan, go to the Facebook page. There's a list of needs that is ongoing all the time, and every contribution and every donation directly helps somebody. So thanks for watching.
Hi, my name is Charles Ramsey from Lost Creek Cattle Company. This is one of our stallions we use. His name's Hairpin Blue Checks. We heel on him. We rope calves on him. We do mounted shooting on him. We raise about 35 colts off of him a year. He's a great individual, good-minded. He can go any direction. Probably bring you 6 colts. I'm gonna try to match them up best I can where you'll have a good group of horses to start with. Whatever you're looking for, we probably have him. You buy anything off this course right here, he's gonna be good-minded and sure enough have the ability to do what anybody wants to do.
Hey there, I'm Melissa Deal from Victory Land Dressage. We're located in beautiful Burgaw, North Carolina. And I just wanted to spend a little bit of time with you today and give you some tips and maybe some professional hints about what we do whenever we groom horses for dressage shows. So I have quite a bit of background working for Olympians and multiple people, grooming horses to get ready to show. And I think you might find some of this stuff interesting and helpful. So the number one thing that underlies everything you do when you get ready to go to the horse show is that your horses had good nutrition for months before you go to the show, because there is absolutely no lotion or potion that is a substitute for good hair coat, muscling, weight on a horse, and the strength of the hair, especially in the tail. Nutrition is the key to that. So that's your number one thing that you want to start with. Now, we're also going to talk about like kind of my secret weapons. And those secret weapons also have a lot to do with the horse's feelings, his emotions, because if you get your horse really upset in the grooming, he's not going to do well in the show ring. His cortisol levels are going to be up, he's going to be stressed and uptight, and your movements aren't going to be as free and fluid and harmonious. So it's really important as you approach the grooming that you consider how your horses feel when you do it. And you want it to be a bonding time. You want it to be a relationship thing, that you're doing something with them instead of doing something to them that they might dislike. And that, again, like the nutrition, could take months of preparation depending on how your horse responds to particular grooming processes. And we use positive reinforcement here, reward-based training, to train those sorts of things. But you can do it in a number and a variety of different ways. So every day what you do at home really matters. Daily maintenance and grooming counts. And when I would start with a vigorous curry, as vigorous as your horse is comfortable. And I like to tell people, if your horse likes it and it feels like a massage, you should be breaking a sweat when you're grooming your horse. So you're gonna really do that, and that's important for every discipline, but you need a shiny coat because you want your horse to gleam when it goes into the dressage arena. So you're literally gonna inspect every piece of the horse's body, as you probably already know, whenever you're grooming. So this sets you up for success. You're going to make sure that you train the mane down all the time on the right hand side so that your big fat dressage braids are going to be absolutely beautiful. And these are things you can do way ahead of time with braiding, with combing wet manes down, with using sheets that have hoods and making sure that you lay their mane down to the right. So all that stuff is super important. You want to shorten your mane and thin your mane regularly so that your braids turn out beautiful. Sheaths and others should be clean. And you want to make sure that you wash your horses prior to clipping and prior to braiding and all that good stuff. And these are just basics that everybody knows, but they are really, really important. So I've got a few products here that I'm just going to talk to you about. And these are just kind of some things that I have found that are really, really handy. The dressage people generally are using leather halters, and you want to make sure that all your metal is gleaming on your halters, your bridles, and your stirrups. And I really like this product here. It says Springer Diamond Paste. It's super for that. And then along with making everything super shiny, including your horse and your metal, I use Quick Shine spray for boots and also even like brow bands and stuff on the bridles, because we usually have some sparkly on our dressage brow bands in a lot of cases. And so we want to make sure that everything's gleaming and shiny. Get it clean, make it shiny. Boots, bridles, everything, right? So those are some of the products that I use. I also use a Lucky Braid shampoo, some Shoshin spray and gel, some grooming chalks, and we'll talk about how to use these things in a bit. But we are not allowed to use, as you know, wraps or boots when we go in the arena. So if your horse has white on his legs, you want them to gleam, and chalk is a good way to do that. Another product that I really like, or something that I would use as a reference, is this World Class Grooming for Horses. It has specific tips for every discipline, but I love the dressage sections. And so this is by Cat Hill and Emma Ford, and I really think that could be very helpful for everybody. Couple more things, a get ready bag. Probably everybody has one of these, but one of the most important things I think if you're gonna take treats is that you take something that's not red, because as you know, you have a technical delegate in the dressage show world, and they will be checking your horse's bit. And if they see anything that's red or looks like blood, then you're gonna be in trouble and you're gonna be disqualified. So leave your red treats at home, and if you're gonna put treats in your go to the ring bag, make sure it's something nice and white or clear, okay? Also, with a double bridle that we use in dressage, bit butter is really important. This helps the bit slide in the corners of the mouth and prevents pinching or roughening up the corners of the horse's mouth. And this is really a great product. It smells like apples. They don't tend to mind it. So that's something that I use. And this, maybe everybody does it, and it's not specific to dressage, but I think it's important. It's Vaseline. And this comes back to your maintenance that you're gonna do throughout the year. You're gonna put Vaselines on their ergots and on their chestnuts so that you can peel those ergots and chestnuts off and sand them with a sanding block. So we don't do a lot of hoof paint generally, like bright hoof, like black hoof paint and stuff like that in the dressage world. What we do like to do is have their feet look nice and tidy. So again, I'll clean them, I'll use my sand block, and I'll get any kind of blemishes off of them that I can with a light sanding, and then I'll use this Kevlar. Okay, I really like this stuff. It dries clear, unlike hoof oil, it doesn't attract dirt and footing. So that works really well, and these are just some of the things that I use. Of course, everybody does have things that they use, and I would love it if you wanted to go on my Facebook page, Melissa Deals Victory Land Dressage, or PM me and tell me what you love, because I'm always looking for new products. Another thing that's super important is we want to protect the hair, tail hair. So we're going to use a human hairbrush and a good quality one whenever we're doing tails and manes. So that kind of covers, I think, most of the products. A few more things that I don't have here for you would be to make sure you use a dust buster sheet, or Weather Beater makes a good cooling sheet that doesn't hold heat, and that keeps the dust off of the horse so that they're sparkling clean when you go in the arena. Anti-static spray, because we like big tails, obviously, right? So we're gonna do everything we can to make the tail look big and fluffy and bang it at the bottom and make it look healthy, but you don't want it sticking up underneath the horse's legs or butt if the air is dry. So anti-static spray is another really important product. So I think wire pliers are something that most people don't think of in their grooming box, and that's really important because we use curb chains. And sometimes the curb chains need to be adjusted at the horse show, and bar none, you'll go to horse show, somebody's running around trying to get ready, grooming their horse, and they don't have anything to adjust their curb chain with. So I would definitely take like a good set of wire pliers where you can squeeze the curb chain if you need to, or where you can cut part of the curb chain off. I would definitely recommend taking that to the horse show.